So literally it was hours upon hours. Like he helped me source all the leather, and it is 100% cowhide, all natural source from, either aged cows or anything else like that. And it's anywhere from 1.3 millimeter thick up to 4 millimeter thick leather.
Nice.
So it's technically recreational, weight.
Yeah.
And then we just sat down, we did sizing and everything else. And I hand tooled everything and just slowly but surely put together. It took me about 9 months to build. We drew it out on cardboard and tried to then did paper models and everything else like that. Like it was labor intensive, right? Like my hands hurt afterwards.
9 months.
It was like if I would have sanded for 40 hours straight. That's what it felt like. But it was, I just love the armor. I love the look of it. Yeah. And he showed me everything and how to do it. And I just took my time and went from it. A lot of mistakes.
Wow. Once again, summertime. It's hot as ever. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Side Project Podcast. Yes! Let's take a sip from our Run It Up mugs. Oh, God, I need that. Taking a double sip today because this tastes like success, and this one tastes like glory, and this tastes like sexualization. Man, it's so hot. I don't want to do this every episode, you guys, but I am dying. I'm done. This is crazy. I gotta find a way to be able to turn on my AC so it doesn't make that hum. Am I in focus? Okay, no, I'm in focus. Just making sure. I'm also extremely tired, man. I don't know if it's a combination of the heat of my schedule being busy. And then I also had this check this out. I also had this really weird, dream nightmare turned into reality thing that I never got to tell you guys about. And I've been losing sleep over it ever since. Check this out. I had this weird dream. Everybody was there. A bunch of people from all my friends and family and people from the cosplay community. Everybody was there, right? And Chario was there. It was me and it was Chario specifically in this certain scenario. And we were in this car driving down this weird road. And I had just rescued him from somewhere. And his name wasn't Chario though. His name was Number 2. It was really weird. And then we're driving down this place. And then all of a sudden everything just kind of gets dark. And it gets super dark, and then we realize that we're no longer here on Earth. It's some weird alternate Earth called the Down Unda, except it wasn't Australia. It was really weird. I don't know why it was called that. I don't know. You let me know. See if you can go into this dream, into this nightmare thing, and let me know. And so we were there, and we were traveling. There was this weird castle thing, and it was all empty, and there was these other beings and weird creatures around. And then we went into the house. I'm skipping ahead. And then we went to the house, and there was this weird big being, and he was like, Chazzy, Number 2, I want your powers. And we were like, what powers? What are you talking about? And then Number 2, who's Chario, he did this weird Doctor Strange type thing, right? And he was doing this thing, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of side project merch just appeared. He was like, bow, and it was boom, hats and socks. We don't even have socks yet, but it was socks. It was showing me what we could have, and shorts because it's the summertime. And we were like, what is your name, weird being that wants Number 2's powers? And he was like, my name is Checna. And we were like, Checna? That's so weird. Are you from the Czech Republic? And he was like, no. And we were like, what powers do you want? He's like, the power to create side project merch. And we were like, what are you talking about? And then Chario, Number 2, was like, let me show you again. And he was doing the thing. He was doing the little weird Doctor Strange thing. And then blood started coming out from his nose. And then he grabbed it, he licked it, and he rubbed it across his nipples. And Checna was like, yes, that's what I want. And I was like, what's going on? And then boom, side project merch appeared again. It was backpacks because we got backpacks now. Side project backpacks and leather jackets because we got leather jackets now. And then a side project bomber jacket because we got bomber jackets now. And I was like, oh my God, look at all this new stuff we got. And then Checna was like, I want to do that. And he tried to do it, but he couldn't do it because Number 2 has the power, right? And then Number 2 did it again. And he was like, and then blood came out of his nose again. And then he grabbed it right across the chest like that. And then he created Project Things. And I was like, man, that is a great idea. And so we put it on a tee, we put it on hoodies. I think we put it on a tank too, because it is the summertime. So get out there and get your Side Project merch tanks, and then we put it on a mug. But now, on the new Side Project merch store, available on sideprojectpodcast.com, you can get the Project Things mugs in black. And this is all thanks to this weird nightmare dream reality thing that I had with Checna and Number 2. Really strange. But sideprojectpodcast.com for all your side project merch needs, where you can get the Run It Up mugs, the Project Park mugs, the Project Things mugs. You can also get the Project Lodian tees, and what else do I got that on? I think they're on hoodies and stuff too, as well as the hats and everything else that we got. Projekt Things, Checna. Number 2, Side Project Merch, sideprojectpodcast.com. Super weird. Super weird. I'm still trying to recover from that. Super weird. I think we're also going to turn it into like maybe a series of some kind. We're probably going to put it on Chetflix. It's coming soon. We're working on it. Anyway, let's get to the bread and the butter of this week's episode, because my guest this week, maybe you know him from crawling up buildings as the Amazing Spider-Man, or swinging through the city as the Spidey from Insomniac Games, or maybe you know him from his portrayals of Captain America, good old Steve Rogers Cap, or maybe from when he has that vibranium arm to match that vibranium shield with his portrayal of the Winter Soldier's iteration of Cap, or maybe it's his Star Wars cosplays brought to life, Clone Commander Cody, or a trooper from the Inferno Squad, or maybe, just maybe, you stand with the Brotherhood high atop Firenze as he soars like an eagle as Ezio Auditore, or it could be that you know him as the brutal, the had enough, the ruthless vigilante of the night, Thomas Wayne, Flashpoint Batman. Regardless of how you know him, you know he's sure to bring his A game, and I've had the pleasure of working with him before, and he's been a previous cosplay of the week here on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and give a warm welcome to Cat Spidey 614.
Hey,
I love it, man. Rocking the Side Project shirt. Oh, I'm good, dude. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Oh, man.
Let's go.
Awesome, dude. Man, how you doing, man?
Well, I'm doing fantastic. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just excited for this, man.
It's going to be a good time, man. I love it. You're rocking the Project Gears Side Project shirt, man. Thank you so much, bro. That's really cool, man. I really appreciate the support, man. How's the day been treating you, dude?
It's good. It's good. Unfortunately, I have been up since 4 o'clock this morning because I'm at work at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
But we're off. We're rocking. Just ready to have a good time.
Well, let's get into it then, man. We won't waste too much of your time. That way you can relax a little bit right before the weekend. You got one more day of work, or you work the weekends too?
No, I am off this weekend. Nice. I'm actually going to a 3-day VIP concert up in Mansfield Reformatory Incarceration.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah, man. All right, well then, we'll get you going so you can rest for the night and then get to what you got to get to, man. I want to dive right into it. We're talking about something called the Flashpoint Batman, dude. Thomas Wayne. You've got your Thomas Wayne Batman that you revealed not too long ago, I believe around like June or so. And this thing is just awesome, man. Very well put together, very well executed. And I got the chance to work with you on a few different videos. Some of just like, display videos that I do, showing off your cosplay with the custom music that I created behind it and everything, to this 6-part comedy series of skits entitled The Bat Chronicles that we're kind of releasing over time here. And I saw this thing in person, man. It's beautifully crafted. You fit the character so perfectly, man. A top-notch cosplay brought to life with the help of a few amazing makers in the community as well. With all the Batmen to choose from film, animation, comics, or games, you've got a plethora of suits and iterations that you can go with. And I believe it's your first cosplay as the Bat in general. And you didn't even go with a Bruce Wayne, but rather Thomas Wayne. So I want to know, man, what was your thought process and inspiration on choosing and going with this character? Like, why Flashpoint Batman?
Well, first off, that music that you created for my debut of Flashpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Epic.
Thank
I
you, man.
appreciate you. That was so much fun.
It's probably going to be the intro music for when I introduce you.
I ain't mad about that. Not at all.
Yeah. Because we're editing Chazzy will figure it out. And obviously, if you're watching this, you would have already known. But it's probably going to be a longer rendition of your intro music that plays when I introduce you.
Epic. No, so man, Batman was seriously probably the farthest thing on my list of things to do. Right. I got a really good friend, you know him as well, Brad from Bradman Cosplay.
Yeah. Previous guest and Cosplay of the Week here on the show as well.
Right. Yep. He has been poking me because I do a Red Hood as well, but I've never really been 100% sold on him. Like, I love the character and all that, but it just never really, I've not been happy with what I created. Right.
Okay.
So, but I love that thought process, that vigilante, willing to go whatever he wants to do, I should say, to get the job done. Right.
Yeah.
So Flashpoint, very specifically the Thomas Wayne, right, is I like to be different. You got to be different.
Yeah.
Right. And there's so many amazing Batman, like regular Bruce Waynes out there, such as Bat Mateo, Caleb Week, obviously Bradman, all these guys. And you don't see Thomas out there. So I kind of had to make it my own. I had to do that. I really enjoy his story. That dude's been through the worst.
Right.
If you really think about it, he's taking, it sucks to lose your parents as a Bruce, but think about losing your kid. Right. I don't have children of my own, but I can only fathom or imagine what that would be like. So he kind of just that whole story. Then he just basically loses his wife too.
That's what I was just going to say. Basically loses his wife too, if you really think about it. Yeah.
So then things get a little out of hand. So he takes up the mantle of the Bat. So he's literally everything that Batman is with no moral obligations.
Yeah. Yeah.
So his idea and his thought process is just, hey, I'm going to stop the criminals permanently.
Yeah.
They can't do it.
Exactly. Huh. Yeah. And I also love, can I just say that, you know what I love? One of the things that I love about Flashpoint Batman 2 is actually the color scheme. I like that color scheme, that like with the black and the grays and the reds, and like I love it with the red, the emblem, you know, the black bat emblem, but with the red in the background. Like I think that's really cool too. That's something that I always really liked.
It's that pop, man. I'm with you. Yeah. Like shocker, red being one of my favorite colors. Like kind of lame. It might be in a lot of my things.
Yeah.
I just love that color scheme and the ability of almost like. What's that thing? Batman, you always see, boom, his eyes pop out, right? There's big white eyes, usually in the animated series or whatever else. And then this one, kind of like how you can take that dark picture and you just have those hints of red and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like, I mean, business kind of stuff. Like you're like, oh crap, what's that?
Yes, exactly, dude. And it gives it like an even, because the bat is already kind of menacing, right? You see him in the shadows, and like you said, you know, sometimes if the eyes light up, especially in animation, they do it all the time. You know, you just kind of see the wide eyes and the outline of Batman, and it's menacing. It's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Even though he doesn't kill or anything, all his, you know, almost all of his rogues gallery, like when they see the bat or any like, even if it's just like robbers in an alley, you know, robbing an innocent woman or a person, once you see the shadow and the outline of the Batman, you're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like
because they're gonna lose a lot of bones.
Yeah, exactly. But when you see like Flashpoint Batman in the red, you're like, oh man, like I know I'm not making it out of here alive. You know, like,
it's game over. He's caught me. It's
and it gives it a different an even more menacing aspect to it, man. I know when we spoke in person about the suit and the cosplay itself in general, like at the time you mentioned that you wanted to add some things, you know, and that you were like missing some things when we were at Cosplay World Richmond. Are you still in the process of doing so? Like, is that still the plan? And what are you looking to add? You know, and have you ever thought about the red glowing eyes?
I do red mesh currently, right? So like all mine have red mesh. I've thought about doing some glowing things too. I thought that would be pretty cool. It's a little harder to do behind the Fabec cowls. Like it's super tight on my head, but I'm sure I could probably figure something out. No, there's definitely, I think everything I have is always kind of in flux. Right? Like there's always things you're like, oh, I like this. Let's change that. I currently have a single drop holster with the 45 on the side. Amazing belt made by Crow Props. They're out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Great dude, makes Batman stuff like that. But I made personally the actual drop holster out of leather and all that kind of stuff. I did that myself. So I just need to make its twin for the other side so I can actually have that full like strap look across the back of his leg. And I really wasn't going to originally do it because I think it's too classic, but I love it. I want to do the shoulder bits. I need to do the shoulder bits, but I think I don't want to do it like under the cape. I want to do it right on his arm, and I'm gonna do like this huge 3D printed.
Oh, nice.
Side. So he's just got that almost those horns on the edge of it.
Gotta walk sideways through doors type shit. You know what
I mean? I can't look sideways anyway, so I might as well just like shimmy through.
Yeah, exactly. It's sick, dude. I mean, it's sick. And while you've been talking about it, I'm sure you know there's been photos that thrown up on the screen and everything. But you know, the cowl and the gauntlets are by AE Cosplay Suits. The suit itself is by Reeves Effects, and then the belt by Crow Props Effects. And a lot of these photos are by B.A. Johnson Photography. Just amazing, man. Like, did you, when you first put it on, like, what was your feeling? Kind of that you said, you know, you never did a bat, you know, you weren't 100% satisfied with your Red Hood. You never thought that you would really do a bat. Is that what you said? Or you kind of, it wasn't on like the top of your list, I guess you could say?
On the top of the list, right. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely one of those things, like, I'm a Marvel guy. I really am.
Right.
Like, but you got to respect DC for what they are, especially animated series. Like, it's just, it's top tier stuff.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, like, I struggle with the DC, like, power aspects of thing, right? It always seems like everyone's like, Batman can do no wrong, Superman's overpowered, that kind of thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I love it for what it is, but it's just, it's almost too much at times. So Batman was never really hard on my list, but I kept seeing so many amazing, like, we got Jaden came out with his Batman not that long ago, right? And then of course Brad's just popping off Batman left and right.
Yeah, he really
always fun with that. So I just, he kept poking, and I was like, all right, I got to do it.
Got to do it.
But that moment, right? Like, first time I put it on, so I only had like bits and pieces. So I tried a cowl on over at Brad's house, and I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm not 100% sold yet, but I like it. And he's like, well, he goes, why don't you go ahead and get the suit? He goes, worst thing is you can sell it again if you want to, right? Because they're going to be like anything else. He goes, and we'll try it on with a cowl and see what you think. Dude, 100%. Pop that cowl on, and the first thing I went as I turned to a mirror, because I got a mirror really down here, and I just looked at him and went, I'm Batman. And it was sold. It was done. It was game over. I'm like, yeah, okay, this works. And then it was like instant. I was like, man, because I was still tossing up like a little bit of Thomas Wayne, and I was like, nope, it's Thomas. Thomas is all the way. I don't have to shave.
Exactly. That's the other thing that I like about it. Not enough characters got beards, man. And it's not, I mean, I'm biased because I obviously have one and I don't want to shave it. I like my beard. But like, aside from that too, like I always kind of thought that, like, even when I was a little bit younger, like not many have beards. You have like iterations of Aquaman that have beards. Like who in Marvel though has beards besides like Wolverine, Sabretooth, you know, maybe a little bit of like Mr. Sinister, but it's not a beard. It's just kind of like the goatee or the chin, right? And
there's only like little bits, like obviously Cap in one aspect, but if you go in the comics, he actually has it fairly often. Yeah, I think just depending on what versions.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Depends on what version.
Yeah, and then Mr. Fantastic's had it quite a bit actually.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah.
But as far as on top of that, there's really not. Marvel's pretty clean cut, right?
Yeah,
actually,
they really
a lot of comics are pretty clean cut. So, and honestly, like I said, if I shave, dude, like I look like I'm 18 if I'm lucky. So I just can't do it.
I can't do it either, dude. I can't do it. I also look like the sloth from Ice Age if I shave.
Oh, yeah. I lose the chin.
Yeah, dude, me too. I have like a non-existent chin if I shave, dude. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I hate it. Mr. Fantastic. I forgot about that. You're right, dude. Have you ever thought about doing Mr. You'd make a good Mr. Fantastic, dude.
Appreciate that. I'm not a Fantastic Four guy.
Not okay. All right.
Not in the least. Like, I just same thing. It kind of feels DC like to me. Like, Mr. Fantastic is the smartest man alive, right? Reed Richards, let's go. And then, you know, it's so much power, right?
Yeah,
and I just feel like now,
it's true.
I will say, and we can talk about that a little bit later, but I do have plans that are Fantastic related.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I got something for you towards the later in the episode. I got something where you could bring that up for sure, dude. When we were at Cosplay World Richmond, we were going out at night to do some shots and everything, get a few content, a few of us, and we were in the lobby at the Marriott getting ready to head out, and Brad and Jose, they sat down at this bar at the Marriott, and I glanced over and I was like, man, this shot looks beautiful, you know? And like with each passing minute, I was testing my cam settings and everything, and these skit ideas just started flowing through my mind, and I was like, this looks like a perfect setting for like a Wayne Manor type setting, or some like rich type setting, you know, that fits perfectly with the Batverse, where we can create some kind of like dumb comedy storyline with these Bat family members, because we had Bruce Wayne, Brad, we had Thomas Wayne, we had Red Robin, Jose, and then we had Red Hood, Ray, RLH, NYC. All previous cosplays of the week and guests on the show. And we had a good mix of the Bat family members, man. And as of this recording, we currently have, what is today? Today, we're recording this on a Thursday. Probably this weekend, we'll probably have 3 of the 6-part skit out on Instagram. And editing Chazzy will figure it out if I'm gonna play all 3 of them, but we're gonna throw one up for you guys to check out right now so you kind of know what we're talking about.
Talk about your problems.
Never listen to me.
If you would have finished the joke the first time, we wouldn't have this problem.
If these 2 would handle my mic work.
This one actually does things my way.
No guns, no killing.
Always solves the problem.
Well, this was great.
Thanks, Dad.
Even though they're just these little short comedy skits, and as we release more, everyone will obviously see more of what we know, you know, that's coming in all 6. But something that I noticed during recording all of these is, 1, how well all of you connected and clicked on an acting level. 2, how easily everyone was able to deliver the lines that I gave out, and then improv their own, you know, the improv skills of everyone as well for different takes. And then 3, the acting skills of all of you in general. And again, I know that they're just short little skits, but I'm curious either way, your interest level in acting in general, because you seem like you have, you know, a lot of fun when doing it, and you guys, all of you, seem very natural. Have you ever acted before or thought about acting, whether it be outside of cosplay, solely only for cosplay? Is it something that piques your interest in any sort of way?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I don't always think I'm the greatest, but I'm always willing to like keep popping away, right? Like I'm just going to do what I need to get it, and I always try something a little different. But I have a little bit, like I was a half a theater kid.
Nice.
And then like high school, right? So like I did some plays and other stuff. So I always enjoyed it, but I was more like bit players in the background.
Gotcha.
But it was always fun. When I was a really young kid, me and our friends used to go in our backyard with an old VHS, like those big quarters, right? And we used to like do D&D style like recordings, not like throw the dice and go, but just like acting out D&D stuff. I've always loved it. It's always been so much fun. I mean, shout out to like Brad, Jose, and Ray, like those guys. Like we just meshed. Like it was really cool. It was the first time I met Ray and Jose, and it just worked. And me and Brad, we've been doing the charity thing with each other for a while now, which is great. So like we have a really good working relationship. I just have so much fun with it. Like I really do. I got lucky enough to do the Halo mini film thing with
exactly.
Caleb, Dad Boy Builds. He did that, dude. That was a lot of fun. Dude, I'll do it anytime. Somebody goes, hey man, you want to do something like this? And I'm like, yep. I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah,
you guys super excited about it.
You guys were all naturals, dude. You know, and I think there's a fun aspect to. I know there is for me. Like when it's like, you know, you see Flashpoint Batman and Batman together. You're expecting, you know, Batman. You know, that Batman style, brute. You know, brutal. This, that, something crazy, and then it's like a comedy thing. It's like a buddy cop movie type situation. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like it's funny. It's even more funny when you see these big dudes in these big suits and everything. It's really cool. To film and you know, direct and do all that stuff for me. So you know, you guys have that same kind of feeling, like being in the suit. You know, I mean, it's cool to do like action stuff too, which we filmed a couple of those as well. It's crazy because you guys all played your roles perfectly. Like what I feel like that character would do in a comedy setting. You know what I mean? Like you guys, you played it perfectly, man. And speaking of acting in general and Flashpoint Batman, can we sidebar the conversation real quick and talk about the lack of representation for Thomas Wayne, his Batman in film, and the missed opportunities? The character is, like you kind of said too earlier, is such an intriguing character. And he was portrayed in the Flashpoint Paradox, the animated movie, but not even for too long. I think he was only in the beginning. And then the Flash live action film came out, right? Which was a very, very loose adaptation. I mean, very loose adaptation, maybe not even an adaptation at all of the Flashpoint Paradox, some may say, and just a massive missed opportunity for a lot of character appearances, if you ask me, but definitely a missed opportunity for a Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman, which many wanted to be portrayed by Jeffrey Dean Morgan at that. I think the Snyderverse, personally for me, was the best place to adapt a Thomas Wayne Bat. Like the themes, the feel, tonally of the Snyderverse. Other people can have other opinions. That's perfectly fine. And then had the Flash movie been something different, I think that would have been a great way to go about it, you know, with the multiverses and all of that. I mean, it's literally written for you in the animated film and in the comics. Now, I don't know how you go about it now. With Matt Reeves' Batman, doesn't make sense. That's a no-go to me. With James Gunn's Batman, I mean, we don't really know. The universe is just being set up. If ever, that would probably be years among years before that storyline was ever even probably told in live action for James Gunn. Would you want to see a live-action Flashpoint Batman portrayed? Do you think that they'll ever even do it, or do you think that the opportunity is just past?
I'm kind of the same. Like, he definitely would have been a Snyderverse Batman all day long. And if they would have kind of kept that same thing with the Flashpoint and actually made it like a Snyderverse style Flashpoint, it was a huge missed opportunity for me. I sadly think it is probably now like past and gone.
I think so
the
too,
only way that we'd probably get something is almost some semblance of a Flash reboot.
Yeah.
Or maybe like if they were actually doing something on the CW still or something like that with the Flash, that you could maybe fit in there. But even then, I think it's too upbeat, too light for what I think Thomas Wayne would truly need to be.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd ever be able to get a full movie out of him. Yeah. Right. I think it would be more like background scenes. You'd have to hear about it, or you could have him showing background scenes as far as what happened. Like you could have him in it. With a Batman, but not necessarily doing the whole, like, this is Flashpoints and you've watched, like, you'll just see a flashback of poor Bruce dying and all that kind of stuff. But I don't see it to be really fitting in anywhere else unless you get a full reboot of the system. And we don't know with the new Superman coming out. I think that's going to be too light too. I think it's going to have a right tone. I really do, but I think it's going to be a lot more upbeat because it's going to be a complete polar opposite from what Snyderverse was.
Same. I think if they did do it in live action, I think you're right. It wouldn't be like a full movie or anything like that. I think it would kind of be on par with what they did in the Flashpoint Paradox, but maybe a little bit more fleshed out, like showing a little bit more. Because I think all I can think of off the top of my head right now for the Flashpoint Paradox, the animated film, was like him fighting atop a scaffold, and I think that was like it almost, and maybe a little bit of dialogue with somebody. I can't remember everything.
It's like a hair bit of dialogue. It's been a long time since I've watched it too, honestly. I would love to see it more fleshed out though. And I think if anything, it's going to be animated. Now, I feel like you could do it a full movie animated. I think there's enough of a back for that you can do that. And if that's the case, obviously, like I agree, Jeffrey Dean Morgan he's just top tier. Yeah. So I feel like maybe get him to voice it. Right?
Exactly. I was just going to say that. At least
that'd be really good.
fill the fans, needs and wants by at least doing an animated film and having a voice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, give us something.
There's enough of it there. There's definitely, the story is, in the comics, it's really fleshed out well. So you could absolutely take so many different versions of him and just make it from there.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to see it, and see his wife become Joker and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And kind of see it a little bit more fleshed out. I think it would be cool, man. A missed opportunity in live action. I think you're right. I agree with you. I think the moment has passed. I don't think we're gonna.
Sadly,
I don't know if we'll ever see that story fleshed out in any sort of live action setting. To be honest with you,
I mean.
Oh, I know, right? We can do it.
There's always that.
We might as well just do it, dude. We might as well, man. That would be that'd be like a dream, man. That'd be a dream, dude. I would love to do something like that. We got to find a Joker that's willing to, a female that's willing to do a Joker, dude.
True. Sure, we could find somebody.
We got to find.
There's some amazing female Jokers that I've seen out there, just like so different kind of versions of it. I have a friend of it, actually, KR Cosplay. She does one too, but hers is, I think, the Dent version.
Oh, okay.
But it's cool too. So there's all sorts of cool stuff, but I think we could find somebody.
Yeah, I think that's a dream film for me to make, dude. 100%. That's a dream film for me to make. I want to talk to you about so much more stuff, man, and we definitely are. But before we do that, let's break up the monotony and let's get into this week's Cosplay of the Week. And this week's Cosplay of the Week is none other than Nikki Lee Cosplay. And I'm throwing it up on the screen right about now. And this is of her Wanda, her Scarlet Witch. And this is phenomenal, man. This is phenomenal. Photo by Jeff Zoet, visuals mentioned here several times, especially with All-Star Cosplay. Mentioned here a lot with All-Star Cosplay, previous Cosplay of the Week as well. This blew my mind when I saw this. Just the photo itself, the edit, the perfect portrayal of Wanda. Nikki, the emotion in your face, the emotion in the brow, the edit of the eyes with the glowing of the pinkish, purplish glow of the eyes, the clenching of the jaw. Jesus, man. And then with your arm, your hands doing the whole, I can't remember what Scarlet Witch's powers are called. Somebody, once again, like always, someone's like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy. Typing it in the comments, it's called this. But yeah, everything that she does, just phenomenal. Just absolutely amazing. I love this. You make an amazing Scarlet Witch, which, speaking of, I want to throw up another one, and I want to throw it up on the screen right about now. And it's the same of her Scarlet Witch, but this one's not an edit. It's just an amazing photo done by Jeff Zoet Visuals again. And the caption says, "I can't control their fear, only my own." And this one shows a little bit more without an edit, everything of just like you as Wanda. The hair is just perfect. The makeup is on point. The what's it called? Her it's like a trench coat. It's like the jacket. I can't think of what it's called. And just everything about it is just perfect. Top notch, done amazing. And furthermore, the caption also says, as of the time of her posting this, "I've done a lot of cosplays over the years, but I'll never get sick of cosplaying Wanda. She's definitely my favorite. I still have a few more looks of hers I haven't done." And if you haven't posted all of those, we're definitely looking forward to seeing more of those. You make an amazing Scarlet Witch. And I want to throw up a third one before we get out of here, and I'm throwing that up right about now. And it is of her Wonder Woman. Equally amazing. Let me get this real quick so I can read. Let me size this up a little bit. The caption says, "Now I know that only love can truly save the world, so I stay, I fight, I give for the world I know can be." Jeff Zoet Visuals again on the photo, and it's just perfect. The background, absolutely amazing. Perfect for a Wonder Woman setting. You've got the wig, I assume, is a wig on and everything. You've got the headpiece on, just looking perfect. Once again, makeup on point. The chest piece down to the skirt, I guess you would call it a skirt. It's just amazing. The bracers, the boots, the shield, the sword with the detail on the sword, the detail on the shield. Just absolutely amazing. She gives credit the costume by Nominal CO, the bracers and the tiara by J Emerald Studio, boots by Ruby's Costume Company, shield by The Moment Creator. These are phenomenal. These are phenomenal. And this is a long time coming, by the way. Haven't been saying that lately. I kind of forgot to say long time coming. This is a long time coming. This cosplay, you cosplay of the week, you've been in the vault for a very long time. And this is phenomenal. And we've got, in case you're just watching this on Instagram as a clip and you didn't watch the full episode, we've got guests this week and previous cosplay of the week, Captain Spidey 614 on the show as a guest this week. And we're talking about his Flashpoint Batman. We're talking about all kinds of other cosplays and everything that he does, such as his Spidey, his Cap, his Ezio, and all kinds of things. And we're diving a little bit deep into Flashpoint Batman in film as well. Captain Spidey, do you got anything that you want to add about Nikki Lee's cosplays before we wrap this segment up?
Dude, Nikki just kills everything. Like, I mean, just straight up. I followed her for a while now, and just Scarlett's one of my favorite ones that she does, especially. I mean, she has the hand motion down right, back turn. Like, she just embodies Wanda. I love it. I think I'm right. It's the Age of Ultron version of her, and it's perfect for me. She does just enough of her own takes on just about everything she does while maintaining that true form to what it's supposed to look like. It's great. From everything from like her, she's a Mara, and obviously the Wonder Woman is just fantastic too. You know, she highly incredible. I'm always
100%, man. If you are not following Nikki Lee Cosplay on Instagram, please go do so at nikki.lee.cosplay. The rest is spelled exactly how it sounds, because Nikki Lee Cosplay, your Scarlet Witch and Wonder Woman cosplay of the week for me and Captain Spidey is amazing. Oh, man. Oh, let's, you know what? I want to throw a little bit of you watch the show semi-regularly, so I'm pretty sure that you know this curveball is probably coming, and I want to get into a segment that I like to call, wow, Shotgun Questions. And what Shotgun Questions is a little bit more of a rapid-fire segment than the questions that we've been having. At least we try to keep it rapid-fire. It never ends up being that rapid-fire. We always end up having a little bit of a conversation about it, and that's okay. It's nothing serious. It's just a series of 3 to 4 questions, depending on time, all fun and games, and let's see how much fun we can have when I ask you. Extremely detailed logistics aside, you have to build a team of 6 characters to fight off a threat on Earth. This could be a team that's comprised of superheroes or villains across the Marvel Universe, DC, or any other comic-based company. This could also be mixed with gaming characters or any other forms of pop culture. You have to build a team of 6 characters to fight off a threat on Earth. Who are your 6?
Whoa, that's deep. I mean, are we going like for utter domination, or are we trying to be nice here? Because let's put it this way: it doesn't have to be Batman, Captain America type situation. You know what I mean? Where you've technically got to save people, can't kill people. I mean, logistics aside, you can do whatever. That concerned
We're
about
not that concerned. It's about saving Earth. Doing whatever you can. You got to do whatever you can to save Earth.
Ooh, that's a rough one. Let's see. And I got to think back to like all my wonderful video games that I played for the last.
I know, because I opened the book outside of just superheroes.
Like,
you know,
what can I do here? So I mean, I gotta go with like it's hard, but we gotta go with like Dr. Doom.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Right. That dude. Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep things a little bit interesting. We'll go with Cap, because that dude's moral compass will at least keep the line. His strategy is just really hard to deal with.
Okay.
Infamous, Second Son style, right? That dude's powers are through the roof. He can pretty much do whatever he wants. Can conjure
anything. It's a good game. That is a good game.
It's a fun game. Yes. It's a long game, right?
Yeah.
I'm sadly I am a Hulk guy.
Hulk.
I like the Hulk.
Yep.
It's really, because we're just not that worried about what's going to happen to the world, right? So
exactly. Just let him go. Hulk, just smash.
Yeah. Right? It's hard to go wrong. God, dude, that's so rough.
Mm-hmm.
Vader.
Oh, wow. Okay, nice, dude.
Vader.
Nice. Throwing the Force in there.
You know what, though arguably, I'd probably say Anakin over Vader.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? Because I feel like he's tactically more powerful. Really
nice.
But I like it. And then, Jesus.
Last one.
It's my man. It's my Spidey guy. Like that dude, he could do anything.
That's a crazy mixture.
Cop-out answer, but
that's a crazy mixture. I like it, though. I like it, man. Crazy mixture. It's
just enough good and just enough like I don't give a.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, dude. Hey, good choices, man. Good choices. Out of these Batmen, the age-old question, you've got Keaton, Bale, Affleck, Pattinson. You can only choose one, and the rest and their universe cease to exist. Who do you pick?
Oh, that's hard. I can't say Pattinson because I actually did enjoy what they're trying to build a little bit, but he's probably one of my truly least favorite ones. Dude, it's a tie. It is. I'm a Keaton guy all day, and Affleck. I just loved what they did with his brutality and how, like, to me, he fit Batman. He looked Batman. I don't think he was put into the right spot necessarily, but he was that. Yeah, really.
100%. Okay. All right. What are some things that you want the MCU to do with the X-Men in film? Maybe it's mutants that you want to be focused on. Maybe it's villains that you think need to be portrayed. Maybe it's something that you think Disney could learn from, from its past, whether that be good or bad, and apply to when they bring the mutants to the big screen. What are some things that you want the MCU to do with the X-Men in film?
I want to stay grounded. 100%. Like, so many movies are just up over the top, everything you can, huge CGI graphics, huge storylines that span everything, which is great. I like the build up. Like what MCU did the first 12 to 15 movies was so good, right? And I think we started to lose a little side of that, having movies all the time.
Yeah.
But I think if they could stay grounded and keep it just more realistic than anything else, I mean, obviously, like, they're mutants, the powers, right? Like, that's one thing I definitely think that they did pretty well in the original ones, but they just, if we could stay more true to real things, real problems. I mean, that's what X-Men was all about anyways. Right. It's about just things that just happen to everyday people while being kind of subverted about it, but really right in your face. And I think if they can really kind of touch on those things without being just, where we're at, it'd be great. Just don't bring it like apocalypse and stuff like that in, like right off the
away.
bat.
Yes, no, that needs to be kind of more long game for them. There, I would say, and hopefully no one's like, oh my God, when I say this, but I feel like people agree with me. I feel like for the X-Men, Apocalypse is like their Thanos. You know what I mean? Like, that's got to come way later. You know what I mean? I feel like you got to build up to that. I feel like you got to build up to that. And then I think too, personally for me, I feel like the X-Men has always been an X-Men story. So I feel like you need to give the X-Men an X-Men story. I know it exists in the MCU, so they're going to be involved in other stuff within the MCU, but I would really love if they focused on the X-Men. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. Like, kind of like when you had the Thor movies and the Iron Man movies, like, they were their own thing. And then they slowly started to bleed into each other here and there. Give them their growth. They need it. Too many things are just like, hey, there's these 6 characters, 7 characters, and they're like, we're going to throw it into this gigantic storyline. They really do. It's got to be that slow build. You got to give them their own thing. And whether or not that means like the multiverse. Well, obviously, clearly, we got Deadpool and Wolverine coming out in 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And we're getting Wolverine. We're going to get a little bit of the background of what they could build off of. And I'm really hoping that they start the X-Men in another universe, right? It doesn't have to be 616 or whatever universe that we're really looking at. It could be in a different universe and allow them to build and then maybe have their own timeline. And then maybe if something crosses over, cool. But if it doesn't have to be.
Exactly.
I'm not upset if it doesn't.
It's we don't know the logistics of it and the details of it, but Kevin Feige did say that the X-Men in the MCU starts with Deadpool and Wolverine. He said that a couple weeks ago. I think he said that, like, officially. That is the official statement. Like, the X-Men in the MCU, it starts with this movie. So whatever that exactly means, I mean, obviously we'll find out something. Obviously, they're probably not going to give us everything, but it starts here. So we'll get some sort of inkling of what the future could possibly be like, I would assume,
All I heard was, let's effing go.
Yes, exactly. Last question. If you could time travel to any time period, any era, where would you go and why? And you can have up to 3 different choices.
All right. Barring, like, medicine and everything else that would keep me alive longer than, 30. I am huge into, like, Norse mythology. I absolutely love it. I love the old gods and the new kind of thought process. So if you could put me in that era where, not necessarily that I'm the raider or get raided, but I love the social aspect of what they did, how everyone was arguably equal. And just the building and that back of it, farther back, go back, Roman times.
Nice.
So the Centaurian looks, that kind of, like, mythology is just so good.
Yeah.
Assuming and hopefully that it was always real, which that's whatever you want to think it is.
Yeah.
But like,
I'd like to
they're
think it
really
was.
gods. Yes. If we had to deal with Zeus, like that would be really, really cool for me. And then, I personally, I have a little bit of Native American blood in me. I can trace it black. I actually have like buckskins and stuff in my family,
cool,
which is really cool. Thanks, broad nose and shoulders. It's about all I got from them. But anything Native American. It's not that long ago, but I love the Native American culture, what they stand for, what they did. That's always been really good to me. And I try to embody some of that in my daily life as it is. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's a cool pick. Those are some cool picks, dude. I dig that, man. That was awesome, man. Well, that was shotgun questions. Let's keep it moving, man. A character that seems to be making a bit of a comeback in cosplay lately, or even characters from the franchise in general, which is Assassin's Creed, but in this particular case with you and I, is Ezio Auditore da Firenze from Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations, the Ezio trilogy, quite possibly referred to as the best games in the franchise. And right around the same time, you and I both revealed our Ezio cosplays. We spoke about it as well beforehand, not planning it together, but coincidentally doing it around the same time. And you often will see Assassin's Creed cosplays, a lot of robes, right? You often see the white robes, of course, if you're doing Ezio or Altair, but if you're doing like a Revelations Ezio, such as I did, you'll see the blue robes, or different characters such as Arno from Unity. He kind of has more of a blue thing going on, and then you'll see other ones like Edward Kenway. Shout out to Convincible Cosplay, by the way. He just did an awesome Edward Kenway. Does have some white going on, but it's not like the pure white that you see from Altair and Ezio. And then, of course, you have many other iterations leading up to the recent games like Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, and so on and so forth. But where you usually see within cosplay a lot of these cloth-like robe iterations, you chose to go with something different with the Armor of Brutus iteration. And I've seen it in person. This thing is no joke, man. It's extremely well put together, dude. And I'd love for you to break it all down from its idea to, the beginning process to the final product, because, you created it, you crafted it, whatever word that you want to use. This thing is real leather armor. Like, just elaborate, man. This thing's amazing.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. Dude, Ezio, I agree. Personally, that trilogy is mine for when it comes to Assassin's Creed. I've bought every single one of them. I played every single one of them multiple times. Like with Odyssey, I could tell you I probably like 400 hours in that game. Like, it's dumb. Yeah. But it's just that Ezio's story that
it's
even
emotional.
Dude, it really is. Like, and
dude.
still at that point in time, having that Desmond background, which was really still cool too. I feel like, honestly, some of Assassin's Creed died when Desmond died. It is what it is. Sorry, spoiler alert from 2009.
I know. Somebody's like, damn it, dude, shit. It's like, it's been like decades.
So, but that kind of struggled with me. But Ezio just had this, I felt it, like everything about it, the storytelling, the design work, like it was quintessential Assassin's Creed for me.
It really was.
The Altair was great, and I love the throwbacks that they do to him, but it wasn't fleshed. It really wasn't. We really fleshed out Altair's story through the Ezio story.
Yeah, exactly.
It was phenomenal. So, and as we built through those, it was great. So, Brotherhood is my number one Assassin's Creed game. Nice. Shocker, it's Armor of Brutus stuff, but. I remember being through that game, and that's when you first started to have to earn things by doing other side quests, right? And the Army of Brutus was the hardest thing to get. I can't remember exactly what it was. It wasn't the feathers, but it was something else that you had to collect, like medallions or something. And they were all over, and sometimes they were in areas that were like required the hardest parkour and free running and stuff like that you could do. But I remember seeing it and just it behind its lock cage just taunting me. For hours upon hours of trying to play this game. And I love the look of it. We just talked about it actually with, I'm a big fan of like Roman Greek mythology. So it screams that Spartan-esque kind of look. It's the technically Armor of the Lion, I think it might actually be. I looked at it and dude, I just wanted it. Wanted it. And I've always been a big costuming guy. I don't really build a lot of things. I'm just now probably actually getting into that kind of stuff. Actually, with my Star Wars stuff is really the first stuff I really kind of went crazy and built. But I had a buddy. He's no longer doing it, but he had a company called Cowboy Leather Company, and it was just a small little company. He made saddles for horses. Right? I grew up riding horses and stuff like that.
Now that I've seen it in person, I felt it. Now I get it.
It all makes sense. So we were talking back and forth and back and forth. He's like, dude, he goes, we could probably do that. He goes, you ever want to do that? And I'm like, I feel like I want to do that. And he's like, well, he goes, this is way before like foam armor was even really starting to be able to come a thing. And we decided to start talking about it. And finally he's like, dude, he goes, I can't do it. He goes, it's going to cost me too much. He goes, but you can do it and I can teach you.
Oh, okay.
I said, sweet. He goes, I just got too much on my plate, too many saddles, too many chaps and everything else that he needs to build. He goes, I want to show you though, because I want to see this thing fleshed out. So literally it was hours upon hours. Like he helped me source all the leather, and it is 100% cowhide, all natural source from, either aged cows or anything else like that. It wasn't traditional slaughtered cows. I tried to make sure everything was as like ecological as possible.
Yeah.
And it's anywhere from 1.3 millimeter thick up to 4 millimeter thick leather.
Nice.
So
dude.
it's
Damn.
technically recreational, weight.
Yeah.
And then we just sat down, we did sizing and everything else. And I hand tooled everything and just slowly but surely put together. It took me about 9 months to build from full conception. Like we drew it out on cardboard and tried to then did paper models and everything else like that. Like it was labor intensive, right? Like my hands hurt afterwards.
9 months.
It was like if I would have sanded for 40 hours straight is what it felt like. But it was, I just love the armor. I love the look of it. Yeah. And he showed me everything and how to do it. And I just took my time and went from it. A lot of mistakes.
Wow.
A lot of mistakes.
Thing is amazing though. Like what about like the fur and then like the cape as well, the robe, whatever exactly you want to call it. Like,
tweed and twill. Right. So original style, it's heavy. The total armor is just shy of 53 pounds.
Jesus. Yeah.
So it's weighty, but it's distributed well. But so the undercloaks and everything else like that. I just actually went back and looked at traditional sizing and styles of under tunics of the Renaissance era and what they would have worn under armor, and then modified those frames and those patterns to this. Now the fur that's around the arms and on the back, that's all faux fur. It does pretty well. It doesn't look real, but it looks real enough. Then I cut faux fur for the gauntlets underneath of it, and I just really just wrap it up, and I just put my leather gauntlets over top of it. The two furs that I do wear are humanely trapped. One is a lynx, Canadian lynx, and the other one is raccoon.
Nice.
And those are just sitting on
funny.
it.
I was gonna make a joke about raccoons and PETA, and it's funny because I was like, nah, I'm just gonna let him continue talking. I don't want to interrupt him. But then you said a raccoon thing, but no, it's all good. Keep going.
No,
I don't care. I'm not a part of PETA. I could care less. But
no,
but
dude,
keep going.
I've actually had somebody threaten to
No way.
with, I'm not even kidding. Dude, it was so dumb. Like I'm walking around and I was so dumb. So I take it to Ren fairs. I love Renaissance festivals. Like it's one of my
Dude, I've never been to one, dude. I want to go. I actually kind of want to go, dude.
Travel to Ohio.
My brother just went to one, actually. I don't know how my brother, he doesn't cosplay, doesn't do anything like that. He's actually the one, sidebar, he's actually the one that designed the Chazosaurus Rexes, though, for anybody that didn't know that. He designed, extremely quick sidebar, I said I wanted a Chazosaurus Rex. It's a childhood thing. I used to dress up as a dragon and dinosaurs all the time. I wanted a Chazosaurus Rex. I made the face. My brother is an illustrator. He designed it. It just ended up as like a PNG, a JPEG. Then it turned into shirts and merch, and then it turned into these full 3D printed things from Jay Curtis from Paper Moon Cosplay and Path 3D, I think, printed these for me. And now we have that. But my brother's an illustrator, but he's not a cosplayer. He doesn't do anything like that. And he went to a Renaissance fair before I did, and he dressed up all medieval like and everything, dude. And I'm like, man, like, how do you go before me? You know what I mean?
That's how that works. That means now you have to. Like,
I know. Now I gotta go.
Is laid.
Yeah, dude. Now I gotta go.
Dude, it was hilarious though. So like Renaissance Festival, lots of fur, right? Let's not get this crazy. Like most people are wearing like tons of furs. But it was somebody was protesting out front and stuff like that. And we were like walking in and they were like, thank goodness it was just regular water, but I had people throw. They're like, how dare you?
No way, dude.
Throw water on me.
Man, I gotta tell you right now.
Guys.
I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. You know what I mean? I'm pretty nice. But I swear, I was gonna make another joke about the blood being thrown on. Thank God it wasn't blood. I swear, if I'm walking around in my cosplay or even like a Renaissance fair costume or something, and they threw something on me, I'm probably gonna be getting kicked out of the fair. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, they should have really thought about it, because Renaissance fair, at least mine does, allows live steel.
Okay, yeah.
And I carry a few things on me while I'm walking around. So
like, all right,
I was very close. It's like, same thought process.
Yeah.
But the best part is actually with that, like every now and again, like I carry a flail.
Nice.
Just like bam.
Yeah, exactly. Don't throw. PETA's getting way too brave. You know what I mean? Like,
and I don't even think they're PETA. I just think they're like, how dare you wear fur? I'm like, what? But no, that thing's, dude, I love it. It may be it probably is honestly probably one of my favorite costumes that I've ever created. Nice, like it's a passion. Like it really is. So.
And you wore this specifically to the Renaissance fair?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah. I was
fine.
just making
Oh
sure
my
that
God.
that's what you meant. Yeah. Wow. Just insane, dude. I mean, just insane. Like to just craft this. And like I said, I saw it in person. If anybody ever gets the chance to see him in person there, go up to it. And if they're cool with it, obviously go up to it and ask to just touch it. Like it's no joke, man. It's so crafted so well. And then real quick, last thing, you showed me like the way that you put it on and everything. It's kind of like all attached in a way to where it's like super easy for you to put on.
Yeah. I can do it by myself if I really need to.
Dude.
Two people is preferable, but the way I designed
for
it
me.
is basically so the top, like the actual like corset piece, if you will, and both pauldrons are all bolted together and segmented, and then a cross patched across, and then of course I put the cape and everything else over top of it, which is just easy. But so basically, it's put on the tunic, put on the belt, pull that up, bolt that to myself because it's not actually buckles. They didn't use a lot of buckles back then, so everything's either bolted or strapped to you. So I did that, and then it's just the whole top piece all at once, including the actual cape and the cowl piecing. It's all one piece.
Super
and then
sick,
I just
dude.
sap it on my side and go from there.
Super sick, man.
Try to make it easy.
It's amazing, man. It's absolutely amazing. And I was actually a little surprised, just personally. I was a little surprised because you've done a few different like Captain America iterations within cosplay, as well as a couple Spidey variations. And I saw on your story recently on IG, you did an ad yours where it was share a cosplay of a character that you're passionate about, and you opted to include your Cap and your Spidey, showcasing your Insomniac Games version of your Spider-Man. And I believe it was your in-game Captain America. Was that the one that was thrown up? Or
Yeah. That's the one I wear the most.
And I was actually, I assumed that maybe your Ezio would be thrown in there also because of like the work that you personally put into it yourself. So I was just surprised to see Cap and Spidey in there. I mean, what makes you so passionate about these characters in general? And are these like your two most passionate cosplays as well?
So I did toss up actually. So Ezio was a thought process. My Commander Cody was a thought process just because of the amount of work it took for both of those to get those done. They may be my favorites as far as like what I put into them, but I really think Cap and Spidey are the two that I get the most out of.
Okay.
And I think that may be a little bit more important to me. So first and foremost, not to like segue, but it really matters to the story is that I'm a charity cosplayer. That's what I do more than anything else. So I help run a charity called United Chaos, and we go and visit 100% nonprofit, like Make-A-Wish and stuff like that. So Spidey's always been one of those things that just everyone loves.
Yeah.
It's really hard not to, right? Yeah. I love Spidey. I grew up on Spider-Man. It was actually my very first comic. Yeah. But I think it's with Spidey and Cap, they have this really just hardcore, indomitable spirit. Right. I can do this all day, or, always get back up. That thought process that they can do anything that they really put their mind to. Yeah. That I really feel like I struggled for a long time believing in myself. And I think a lot of people have that problem as well. And even to this day, right? Like I'll wake up every now and again and just feel like, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, do I got to go to work?
Today's not my
day.
Right?
Like, it's just like I woke up wrong. I didn't sleep well. Or I got too much crap I got to deal with at work, or, and it's just one of those things where I can think back about what they can do. It really is like the media has shaped us.
Yeah.
And Cap and Spidey are just two of those characters that have just really I've honed in on. And then when I do get to do my charity work, I almost always go to one of those two because of what they bring to so many other people. You're everything to them. And no matter what I put out, I could be in the worst mood possible when I put that mask on or I strap that shield to my back and I see that kid, just that one kid that just lights up. It's everything. And then all of a sudden I really think about it again. And I go, I could do this all day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go. Back. And they really bring so much to the table.
Yeah, because you can't really show up as Flashpoint Batman with guns,
No, so I'm going to.
Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it?
No guns. No guns.
I was going to say,
the nice thing is like the belt that I made, right? So it just unclips, and then I can just have the regular utility belt, and I can just show up, take the eyes out, and show up. And now I'm just Batman, right?
Exactly. I don't think the little kids, they don't know. Most of them probably don't know the difference.
No,
you know what I mean?
I've been to charity events with Red Hood. Like when kids come up and go, "You're my favorite," and I'm like, "Ooh, you should talk to your
That's crazy." That's funny though, man. A great way to bring that all back, man. I love that, dude. Well, we are going to get ready to get out of here, man. Before we do, though, I want to give you the floor to say whatever's on your mind, whatever you want to plug, shout out whoever you want to shout out. And maybe go ahead and mention that you said something about something existing in the Fantastic Four realm, you know what I mean? So if you want to throw that out there too, these last few minutes are yours, man. Go ahead.
All right, well, first off, dude, I really appreciate you having me on, man. This is just
of course, man.
Tops, right? And I hope everybody else enjoys this as much as I have. Really, there's only couple of real quick things. One, yes, I will go ahead and let people know because it's coming out. Fantastic Four is coming. Dr. Doom is my all-time favorite villain, barred none. That dude has this crazy, like, schmarmy attitude that every now and again I think my face just normally portrays, and I feel like I could push that through those tiny little eye holes.
Yes, tiny little eye holes.
But I'm not gonna go classic Doom. I'm gonna do what I do best, which is like I do most of my characters through charity, so they have to look very what kids see every day, right? Yeah. So like Cap and so on, they have to look what they need to look like. But Ezio and some other things I can take my liberties with. Yeah. So you will likely see sometime beginning of next year, if everything goes to plan, God Emperor Doom walking around with a gigantic Thanos skull and spine dragging behind me.
Yes, man.
But I will talk that I'm not gonna 3D print it. And I'm not going to make it out of foam, and I'm not going to make it out of leather.
Oh, man. That's going to be crazy cool, dude.
I might be a little clunky, but you're going to know I'm there.
What he's going to do is actually going to rip someone's actual skull and spine out.
It's mine.
Mortal Kombat style.
Bring me Thanos. That's it. So I'm gonna do something like that. And then my last thing, dude, is I have to plug my charity. We're just a small time charity right out of Columbus, Ohio, but we venture all over from northern Columbus to southern. We've done things in Michigan and Kentucky and so on. And we're only like 32 strong, but we're constantly growing. It is United Chaos on or it's theunitedchaos.com or united.chaos here on Instagram. Nice. We are a 100% nonprofit charity. We don't deal with money. We don't take money. We don't do donations or anything else like that. But our goal is to bring a little bit of chaos and magic to kids in need. Everything from, like I said, Make-A-Wish to a Special Wish Foundation, children's hospitals, all that kind of stuff. It is truly my passion. That's what I do this for. Obviously, I do it for me. I'm an adult. I don't want to play dress up. Right? Who does it? Like be all the people I want to be. But to be able to give back to so many people that have allowed me to do what I do. And it's just so much fun.
Right. Man, awesome, dude. A great time having you here. I love the conversations that we got to have. I always love it too when you get to veer off a little bit. We have like conversations we didn't plan or go a little bit deeper into, like, for instance, Flashpoint Batman in film and stuff like that. Yeah. And the shotgun questions, the first question I asked you about the six people, you're the first one that I've ever asked that question to. So I think I'm going to kind of keep that in the arsenal. I like that question. That's a fun one, dude.
I'm going to get outdone left and right.
That's a good one. That's a really fun question. I like that one, dude. So it's been a great time having you, man. If you guys aren't following Captain Spidey, go follow him at capt.spidey.614 on Instagram. A great time having you, man. And I keep an eye out for the Bat Chronicles series and whatever else that we end up putting out. Thank you for coming on, man. It's been such an amazing time. And to everybody tuning in right now, thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, for doing all of those beautiful things that you do over on youtube.com/Side Projekt Podcast. When you go down, you hit that big red subscribe button. When you do, it goes, and you get 100 sexy Projekt points. Thank you for watching and listening on Spotify, as videos are available on Spotify as well, and following and rating and doing all those things you do on Spotify. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram at IGHatesChazzy. That is my personal, and everything else you need to find me at is on the screen right about now. And if you're looking for the podcast as a whole, you can find it on Instagram at Side Projekt Podcast. Remember, that's Project with a K. And don't forget to visit sideprojectpodcast.com for everything Side Projekt and Side Projekt merch. For me, for Captain Spidey, and for the haircut that I'm probably going to get this evening, we are out of here. Actually, hold on. There's a bunch of water in this one still. We